कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे से भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम प्यूर का हरबा दागिनाते रख दिन दागिनाते कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम। यस, ऐसे भगवान को, ऐसे भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे भगवान को, ऐसे भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम और फास्ट, या फास्ट। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका धाम है, ऐसे भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम फॉलो हाथ, गोकुल जिनका नाम है, ऐसे भगवान को, ऐसे भगवान को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम यशोदा जिनकी ही मैया है, नंद जी बापैया है, यशोदा जिनकी मैया है, नंद जी बापैया है, ऐसे गोपाल को, ऐसे गोपाल को बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है। कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Dinabandhu, come. Dinabandhu, call him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. So thank you all for coming for this Radha Govinda community meeting that we're having today. And I apologize, this was a little short notice, so many of our friends and our community members could not make it for various reasons. So we're broadcasting it live on Facebook, and we will share the recording through all of our different ways and means to get the message out to the community. The purpose of today's meeting is for us to hear from one of our GBCs, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, to share with us some of his thoughts and realizations and hopefully some of his vision for the expansion of the outreach and preaching here in New York City, where ISKCON began. It's important that we get a chance to hear from our authorities, from our leaders, to inspire us, to enliven us, and also give us, direction on how we can work together and serve together in pushing forward the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada's beloved ISKCON. I definitely want to acknowledge some of the different sanghas or tribes, as Chandrasekhar Maharaj lovingly calls the different groups of devotees that are here. Of course, we have our core Radha Govinda temple community, headed by His Grace Hansarup Prabhu, our temple president. We have devotees from the Bhakti Center are also present here. Kasuba Prabhu's here, and Virabhadra's here, and other devotees. We have the Hare Krishna Namahatta group, one of our main, subdivisions of the Radha Govinda community. Also, Sunanda Prabhu is here from the Krishna Balaram temple. They are also comprised of many members of the Radha Govinda extended community. The Yuga Dharma Harinam Ashram group devotees are here. Also, Ram Roy Prabhu was the original Radha Govinda devotee from the olden days, and we definitely enjoy and value their association. And likewise, there are other smaller groups of devotees. ISKCON Second Avenue is also represented here. They have been giving us a lot of help in continuing ISKCON New York activities. And likewise, special thanks to the board members of the Bharati Center of New York committee, like Dhananjay Krishna Prabhu and Mahagopi Mataji, who have come to help strengthen our leadership and our community involvement. So our program is very simple. We will request His Grace Hansarup Prabhu to speak for a few minutes to share some information and some realizations. Then we will invite His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj to speak. And approximately 12:30 will be the Rajbhog Artik, and Prasadam will be served following that. If we have time for questions, we will definitely take the questions, but I humbly request that the questions are limited to the topics that are discussed today. Of course, many devotees are concerned about the legal issue and other, technical things. I request that we discuss those topics offline with Hansarup Prabhu, myself, or Mithuna Prabhu, or the other local devotees, so that we can maximize Maharaj's time to focus on spiritual topics related to the outreach and preaching in New York City. Hare Krishna, His Grace Hansarup Prabhu.
As Chaitanya Nandaprabhu mentioned, we will have time to discuss anything that anyone would like to ask offline. This is being presented for the larger community as well on Facebook Live. So there's quite a bit of information on our website, ISKCON Sri Sri Radha Govinda Brooklyn, on our Facebook page rather, and also on our website, which is ISKCONNewYorkCity.com. .com or .org, Chaitanya, .com. So please go to those, follow, bookmark, and you'll get regular updates. And there will be a big update within about 7 to 10 days. So please look at that. That will summarize everything that's happened since April, if you're following the legal aspect. But aside from that, we're here today because we have an opportunity, a unique opportunity, to bring together one of the largest communities of devotees in the nation. Not just the nation, actually the world. At one point, the New York Temple was the largest temple in ISKCON, in size and in population. Even when we had a small temple on Henry Street, it had the even greater than Los Angeles at times. We had more devotees there, very small. Because New York is a special tirtha. Srila Prabhupada says New York was my pick because he knew that if he could make it here, then the society would flourish everywhere else in the world. And he also said, and I never get tired of saying it myself, that New York is my most important project. Not my, but our most important project. So this is our legacy, this is our inheritance. If we want to please Srila Prabhupada, all we have to do is keep that in mind, that this is his most important project. As much as we keep in mind his favorite activity of book distribution and everything that goes with it, then we should always keep in mind how New York is Srila Prabhupada's most important project. So because of the limited time and because everyone has come, and we understand that Sunday is a day of family, and happy Father's Day to everyone here who's come, and to all the wives and mothers who help in that regard. Without them, we couldn't be fathers. So our original father, Krishna, our original mother, Srimati Radharani, they're here also. So this is an opportunity for us to, and where did they come first? We have little Radha Krishna on the altar at 305 Scammorhorn Street. Srila Prabhupada brought these first Radha Krishna deities in ISKCON to New York in 1967. So these are our real, how can you say, focus. And we want to try to maintain that. And it can be done simply by remembering these things. And all of the achievements that we have accomplished and that we will continue to accomplish when we're able to act together. So then, without any further discussion, please welcome His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. And please silence your cell phones. Maharaj.
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Before Maharaj begins, could all the devotees come forward, please? We have a lot of space here, and there's devotees coming in slowly. Please don't be afraid. Please come closer.
Hare Krishna. I am very honored, very happy to be with all of you today. Some of you I do not know so well, but I am hoping in the time to come we can all have the opportunity to know each other better and better through the service that we have to Srila Prabhupada and our Sri Guru Parampara. When Srila Prabhupada gave us a translation of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he presented it as a prayer. The mantra is an invocation of 16 divine names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shrimati Radharani and Sri Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada translated it as an appeal for service. Dear Srimati Radharani Hara, dear Krishna, O all attractive one, Sri Ram, the reservoir of all pleasure, please engage me in your loving service. This is the very heart of the Sankirtan movement. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the holy names in the framework of devotional service. Srila Prabhupada, on behalf of the Acharyas, interestingly, he translated bhakti as devotional service. Most call bhakti yoga the yoga of devotion or the yoga of love. But our acharyas say the yoga of devotional service. Because the very heart of bhakti is service. When Srila Sanatana Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to describe the path of devotional service, perhaps the most extensive and comprehensive instructions that Lord Chaitanya gave, Sanatan Siksha, he began with this simple principle. And he built our whole philosophy and culture on this foundation. Jivara Swarupoy Krishnara Nityadas. That our eternal constitutional position is that we are servants of Krishna. Ahoitaki apratihata. And the true nature of service, our constitutional nature, is unmotivated and uninterrupted for the pleasure of Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, where there is great necessity, there is great opportunity to serve. And this is the way Vaishnavas are taught to see challenges in life as opportunities to serve. Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he began ISKCON here in New York City. And through this pastime, he taught us, by his own example, how to never be discouraged by challenges. I was recently listening to Srila Prabhupada giving a lecture in India. I believe it was in 1971. And he was telling these very accomplished ladies and gentlemen from India about how he began his movement. He discussed his coming to New York City on the Jaladuta cargo ship. And how when he was here, he said, I had no home, I had no friend, I was practically loitering like a vagabond. Those were Prabhupada's words. It seemed quite hopeless. And he wrote to some wealthy people in India asking them to grant some contribution or some loan to start a center here. He requested some of his godbrothers to send some people to help, some facilities. And I believe everyone was a well-wisher, but they just didn't see that it was a good investment. Most people invest in something that you believe is going to work. Srila Prabhupada was investing his life in something that nobody else believed could even happen. So really, nobody helped on any substantial level. But Srila Prabhupada tells in this talk that after some time, almost a year, I was just struggling alone here in this city. The winters, we're kind of used to winters. But when you don't really have any funds and you're born and raised in Bengal and all the snow and the winds of New York City, no interest of anyone in what you're trying to bring, it could be discouraging. But Srila Prabhupada simply was not discouraged. And then he talks about just a few young men and young boys and girls who started taking interest. Srila Prabhupada gave his life for these few boys and girls who were taking interest. Most of them didn't stay around very long. Some of them did. But Srila Prabhupada saw every opportunity as a gift to serve. From 26 2nd Avenue, Srila Prabhupada met devotees from here in New York. It took him to San Francisco. Same devotees later took him to Montreal. From those few devotees, sent to London, brought to India, and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. To Srila Prabhupada's last breaths in this physical world with us, he would remember with such gratitude and fondness New York City. Srila Prabhupada declares ISKCON to be a branch of the Sri of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that branch was born, it manifested here in New York City. Srila Prabhupada considered it the most important city in the world. That what could be done in New York City more than anyone else will affect the entire planet. And that is what he did. Mukunda Maharaj and Janaki were attracted here in New York City. They went to San Francisco, they went to London, the people who accumulated went to India, and then to all the continents of the world. Just imagine, Srila Prabhupada came here approximately 70 years old with no money. He had $7, but it was in Indian currency. He had to sell his Srimad Bhagavatams. That was his only source of income. And he was the only book distributor in the world at that time. And our book distributors, oftentimes they show people the photos, the illustrations, and that attracts them to buy the book. Srila Prabhupada's original Srimad Bhagavatam, there was no illustrations. But his selling those Srimad Bhagavatams was his income. In one beautiful lecture, he tells how his entire savings for over 6 months of selling Srimad Bhagavatams, that's what it cost to get the storefront at 26 2nd Avenue. In this talk, he doesn't say it was a donation. He describes that he got that apartment and that storefront with 8 months of his selling Srimad Bhagavatams, the entire savings. And it was for 1 month's rent. And he had no idea where he would get the funds for the next month's rent. And 10 years later, the whole 5th Avenue was dedicated to the Rath Yatra of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Thousands of devotees, tens and thousands of people, Srila Prabhupada riding upon Subhadra Mai's chariot. It was a great victory. As Hamsarupa Prabhu was telling us, at that time, Srila Prabhupada had that wonderful building, he called it a skyscraper, on 55th Street in Manhattan. It brought him such joy. From living in people's flats in the Bowery and being kicked out every now and then, just going from place to place with no help except from the people Srila Prabhupada preached to himself. And now there's a skyscraper building in Manhattan Island and beautiful Rath Yatra. There was hundreds of devotees in that building. I believe at the time when Srila Prabhupada departed from this world, it was the most precious project in all of ISKCON. I believe it was the largest project in all of ISKCON. Prabhupada gave that famous statement that he wanted his samadhi on the rooftop of the 55th Street Temple in Manhattan. That's quite revealing of his heart. And even in his last weeks, when he would remember those days in New York City, there would be tears in his eyes of gratitude. So that's how important New York is to Srila Prabhupada. And in Srila Prabhupada's heart, how dear it is to our whole Guru Parampara, who Srila Prabhupada represents. Srila Prabhupada established deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda all over the world. Parama Karuna Pahundui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra. They are supremely merciful. And for all of us being here in New York City, we understand the magnitude of their mercy to bring about this change of heart here. So today, instead of hundreds and hundreds of enthusiastic, completely surrendered, dedicated devotees living full-time in Srila Prabhupada's Manhattan skyscraper temple, we just have a few people kind of scattered all over the place in the city discussing our good fortune. Our good fortune because we have such an incredible opportunity to serve. Going back to Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's statement, where there's a great necessity, there's a great opportunity to serve. See, we're passively sitting and listening to the siren of that ambulance. But for those who work in the ambulance, they're really absorbed. It's an opportunity to serve. Somebody's in an emergency situation. Somebody's on the verge of death and they're activated. Everything I've learned, now is the time to use it. So I believe there's a siren going off in New York City. We should hear it. Srila Prabhupada's calling us. Whatever may have happened in the past has led us to the opportunity that we have today. Because it's so much bigger than each and every one of us. Srila Prabhupada was the one and only person in the entire Vaishnav community to have done something wonderful in New York City. And we could each know for sure that Srila Prabhupada is personally calling on each and every one of us to help him, because it's a time of need here. The only active ISKCON temple that I'm aware of in the whole of New York is 26 Second Avenue. Officially ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada outgrew 26 Second Avenue in 1967. It was too small. He had to go out, and then to another temple bigger in Second Avenue, and then Henry Street, and then 55th Street. Then it divided up into various centers in the area. And now, over 50 years later, we have 26 Second Avenue. Of course, we have other centers. But Srila Prabhupada wanted us all to be united in the home that he built for us in the form of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. To realize Srila Prabhupada's dream, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's compassion, it will require a very serious practice on each of our parts of the principle of unity and diversity. So we have many little groups. I'm sorry, I don't really know. I haven't been around so much. I live in India, actually. I don't know how I ended up here. But that really... It's easy to say it. But to practice what we say is where we access the mercy of the Lord. But gathered today are several groups of leaders from different places in the New York area, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. And our great hope is we can do something most wonderful, more wonderful than ever before for Srila Prabhupada, because that's what he wants. And therefore that opportunity is there. And from the difficulties that come of the past can be built something that's more wonderful than ever before, even more wonderful than if the past never happened. That's the way a Vaishnav sees the world. It's bigger than the GBCs. It's bigger than each of the little centers here in New York. Therefore, we need each other. As far as I could see, the great potential that Sri Sri Radha Govinda is providing for us here can be realized when we all put aside our own false egos, when we all put aside our separate interests, and we come together through all our diversity, and that diversity is wonderful, it's sacred, but it's very much the call of the time to focus on the unity within our diversity. We actually all have one mission, and we all need each other to fulfill that mission. That's simply Krishna's arrangement. And I believe that's why this meeting was called today. That we can share a unified purpose. I don't believe today's meeting there's going to be so many specific plans that are presented, because that's kind of theoretical and premature at this time. But if there's the synergy of our hearts and our minds and our purpose, then it creates a forum where the specific plans can be successfully executed. Here in New York City and other parts of the world, we can evaluate what has been successful in the past, what's successful in the present, and how we can apply those to today. Share them and make them happy, and then add to it. Prasad distribution was an incredible aspect of New York. Distributing so many thousands of those luglus all over the city. We're famous. Hare Krishnas were famous as people who are giving. We tried to get a luglu recipe here at the Bhakti Center. And the only recipe we could get was for 3,000. Yes, they never made less than 3,000. And that was probably daily. It was from Sunandan, I think. Yeah. That means practically daily, 3,000 devotees distributing them during book distribution. New York was the largest book distribution in the world for so many years. When I first came here in 1972, there was 5 different Harinam Sankirtans going out simultaneously every day, to different groups going to different neighborhoods. What to speak of all when all the groups would come together as one. So Harinam Sankirtan. Vaisheshika Prabhu, who is one of the GBCs of New York now, is very enthusiastic to have seminars in developing book distribution, having monthly Sankirtan festivals. And he's going to be coming really soon. He has so many people who are very expertly empowered to inspire and train others in these fields. The Kirtan Ashram, led by His Grace Ram Rai Prabhu, is in Union Square every day for so many hours chanting. And that Harinam can actually, together we could have Harinams in so many parts of New York City. Get a kitchen to make prasad to distribute all over the city. The Bhakti Center has been exploring various ways for cultural, educational opportunities for the people of New York to learn. New York is famous throughout the world for theater. And on 55th Street and in Henry Street also, the Vaikuntha Players. had a wonderful, wonderful theater presenting Krishna consciousness. And one time, I believe it was in New York, Srila Prabhupada saw a drama and was so moved. He expressed how the very heart of his books is being presented in such an accessible way to people. So Srila Prabhupada gave limitless encouragement to every devotee in every way they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness here in New York City. So all of these things are actually very easy to do. We have the means to do it. We have to simply come together to decide to do it and then figure out the ways. It really is exciting. From my limited experience here in New York, I definitely see that the people are more receptive than ever before. More than the 60s, more than the 70s, 80s, 90s. People are really receptive here. To a large extent, like the rest of ISKCON, our movement has become congregational. Or people who are perhaps working, living with families, can take up incredible responsibilities to serve together, to spread Krishna consciousness. And if we see the congregation among all of your centers here in New York City, we actually have a huge temple. It's much bigger than any temple at any era where people lived in the temple. There's perhaps thousands of people here in New York. If we can, the beauty and the success of congregation is to be unified with a common purpose, to come together. And everything we're doing is ultimately for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure and for the pleasure of Sri Radha Govinda Dev. And we're very much hoping and praying we could all be dancing and singing as a united family in the presence of Radha Govinda in their temple on Skimmerhorn Street. It's confirmed by the siren. But somehow or other, Radharani and Govinda Dev have put us in the situation we're in now. So there must be something very wonderful that's supposed to happen. And the way I see it, I truly believe it's just a matter of time till we're all together as a family and all these disputes and conflicts will be under the bridge and it will flow by. But in the meanwhile, I believe Krishna wants us to unify without such a facility. It's more difficult. But there's a great opportunity for spiritual progress, individually and collectively, in doing that. We're having programs in that school. I don't know how possible it is, but if we all get together, it would be nice if we could rent out a place nicer than that school. A place where we could dance nicely and it's a little bit nicely lit. not a very enlivening atmosphere. But there are places in New York. If we all decide together and we all search, place that we could rent, really nice place, an enlivening, exciting place. We could have wonderful kirtans, wonderful lectures on a regular basis. Prasad distribution, Harinam Sankirtan book distribution, different types of lectures and seminars. We could be doing that today. We just need as leaders to come together with a common vision. When we are united for a purpose, then the type of transcendental brainstorming that comes out of that is incredible, and it will be empowered. So let us not be depressed or distressed. Let us be excited and hopeful and enthusiastic and patient. Srila Prabhupada taught us this principle that Rupa Goswami teaches, that the qualities of surrender are enthusiasm and patience. And Srila Prabhupada, as our Acharya, he embodied that, especially in New York City. What was his enthusiasm? Nothing could stop his efforts to give Krishna to others for the pleasure of his Guru Maharaj. And yet, however long it took, he had the patience to continue on. Hayagriva Prabhu writes about Srila Prabhupada's challenges in those days in his book, Hare Krishna Explosion. And somehow or other, if everything was booming the way it, if everything just continued to grow and grow and grow from 1976, there would be tens and thousands, hundreds and thousands of devotees in New York, and each of us would have some little place to play. But now, there's just a few of us. And the second Hare Krishna explosion is about to happen here in New York City. And the great wonder is each and every one of us could be a pioneer. Like one of those devotees at 26 Second Avenue that we read about historically, who, so much depended on them to do something. But they all served together. That's how it happened. And each and every one of us has that chance to be an intimate, integral part of a Hare Krishna explosion that will resound throughout the world. This is my simple message today. Thank you very much. His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, and my insignificant self, we're kind of lost here in the sense that we never did anything here for so long on this level, but we're eager to serve with you and eager to help give vision and leadership to this project. Haribol.
So we have a few minutes left. Would anyone like to ask any specific questions to His Holiness Brother Swami Maharaj? Now is the time to. And I humbly request you keep the questions related to the topic that Maharaj discussed about today. Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
So, as someone recently joining the Bhakti movement, how can I and my fellow millennials join this movement and help with this second explosion of Hare Krishna here in New York City?
Begins with our own personal explosion. We take shelter of the holy names of Krishna. We take shelter of Srila Prabhupada's message in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And we take shelter of the association of devotees to share the holy names, the message, to share it among ourselves. When there's a strong community, that community could reach out and cause that explosion. Thank you.
I was talking to one Sannyasi Maharaj. He was saying that love and trust is gone from the movement. How can you bring that back in the movement?
I would not say love and trust is gone from our movement. Some places it's covered more than others. But Srila Prabhupada invested the very heart of Krishna consciousness is the principle of love and trust. And in some places it's very strong, very powerful, and very empowering. But in circumstances, sometimes it is covered. And in those circumstances, each of us take responsibility to personify love and trust in our own life, in the way we speak, the way we act, the way we interact with others. And by Krishna's grace, if we're just sincere and honest to do that, then that love and trust will be restored and could be greater than ever. But it is important. Because like a machine, there's different parts of the machine. And each part has a very, very vital purpose, like the engine of a car. There's so many different aspects of a car. It's not just one piece of the car makes the car move. They're all working together. But without oil, all the different valuable components, they actually destroy each other through friction. So that oil is very important, simply to get all the parts to contribute together in a constructive way rather than a destructive way. So unity and diversity. Each part is diverse. And that unity, that oil, is the love and trust that devotees develop among each other. Whatever our place in Varnashram may be, whether we're grihastas or brahmacharis or sannyasis, vanaprasthas, whether we're priests or living in the congregation in business or engineers or mothers, whatever our particular social or occupational status might be, if we put the service of Krishna in the center, if we put that principle of respecting and honoring Vaishnavas in the center, that creates love and trust. One of the problems is we expect others to be loving and trusting. But it has to start with ourselves. We have to be loving and trusting. Because in this room today, we're all more or less meant to be leaders here in New York. And that's a first principle of leadership, is generating love and trust. And if there's a deficiency, there's a greater necessity for all of us to focus on that and create that. Because it's what Krishna wants. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for the comment, the statement that you made about being excited. Because for myself, I don't live here anymore. So coming from the outside, sort of, I can see that this situation is very exciting. It means Krishna's doing something, and so there's an opportunity here to really decide whether I want to be a part of that. And if the answer is yes, then many wonderful things can happen.
Thank you. Please come back to New York. We need you. That's the exact energy that will make the Hare Krishna explosion detonate. A very hopeful excitement of what we could do together. That positive spirit that Srila Prabhupada embodied and that he gave to us. Thank you. It really is, truly is exciting. Yes.
In this diverse community, how we can be, united instead of, judging each other or blaming others or whatever it is. How can we unite it for real purpose? I think it is too challenging in inner city to welcoming others or respecting others for many of us.
What you say is correct. It is too challenging.
Because I know that it is challenging because we don't have kind of heart to welcoming or respecting. So what is the process to unite it, all of us, and getting the higher purpose of life?
In such a dilemma, we require to call out for Krishna's mercy. Yes, when Draupadi was being stripped of her clothes by Dushasana, it was challenging. It was too challenging, in your words. Yes, what'd you say? She tried with her own hands. She tried by chastising everybody in the room. And ultimately she cried out for Krishna, and Krishna saved her. So it's important we cry out for Krishna to save us. And that's a wonderful thing when we're put in a too challenging situation. Because then we need to call out for Krishna, and that's what Sankirtan is. When together, we're together as a family, as a community, as a group, we're calling out for Krishna to help. So I think we need to have those kinds of kirtans together, where we're really calling out for Krishna And we're reminding ourselves that we need to attract that higher power. And we'll attract that higher power to the extent we humble ourselves to actually live as Vaishnavas with respect for each other. That's the means by which we'll attract that higher power. And we can do it. The situation would not be as it is unless Radha Govinda wasn't there to make it happen. If we just do our part. It's important we take shelter of the holy names. We take shelter of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We take shelter of the unity of a Vaishnav community. And we see each part in relationship to the whole picture. The whole picture is what Srila Prabhupada and what Sri Sri Radha Govinda want for New York City. What Radha Murlidhar, how they want to reveal themselves to all of us in New York City. Yes.
Buddhist usually meet so many people who kind of know about Hare Krishnas, but they say something, oh, you know, I used to do it. Like, it's okay, you will pass this stage. Something. How to show them that it still exists and it's still real, and how to engage them in this, because when you ask them to come to the temple, they're like, no, I know everything, it's okay. Like, I know Hare Krishnas. How to deal with these people, because I think they have potential to come back.
There are so many ways. And that's what we're here for, to discuss those ways. Through all of the different methods or expressions of devotion that we have been discussing, there's different ways to reach different people. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to somehow reach people. Look at what Srila Prabhupada did. He would go to rock concerts and Avalon Ballroom in San Francisco and chant, give lectures. He would do things with Allen Ginsberg, who was definitely a different kind of devotee. The Morning Star Ranch was a different type of ranch. And Srila Prabhupada established, some places, restaurants, reading rooms, cultural centers, Ratha Yatras, theaters on the street, different types of Harinams, Bhaktivedanta Institute for scientists. Srila Prabhupada was very creative to reach different types of people and make Krishna consciousness relevant to them. And that's what he's expecting us to do together here in New York City. And that's exciting, as dear Mataji has expressed. It's very exciting.
It's like if everybody over here give their email address or contact address. So we do Namharta, and also we do big programs where we need people, devotees to make garlands, cook food. So you can do service on those programs. So if you can give your contact address to Chaitanya, he's coordinating all the groups. So that would be very nice.
Thank you, because people who are excited excite others. That's
Should we be having more of meetings regularly like this to feel the enthusiasm?
we should. Thank you.
62nd Avenue. We know our the main center is in Mayapur. Everything is flourished, everything is going very nice, organized, and it's well established. This is one of the centers Prabhupada already, Prabhupada started with, and this is the main center. Everybody, whenever visiting New York, try to at least go once to see 22nd Avenue. As TBC, I would like to ask you, let's say, for my curiosity, like, is there any plan we have or something to establish this center as a memorial center or ISKCON museum or something like established way? Is there any plan? Because this is like rented. I don't know how long it's going to be rented. Is there any certain time it's going to be stopped at or in future? I don't know. Is there any plan or is there anything can we do or you have already go to GBC? Is there any plan you have Maharaj?
There is a plan to make a plan. But it hasn't gone that far yet. Sorry. There's been so many other things going on which have taken a lot of energy that we really haven't been able to come together to really make a plan with the trustees and the team at 22nd Avenue to really have that vision. I have my own personal feelings, but I don't really feel it's appropriate to discuss them without discussing it with other leaders and the people on the ground there. But it is the birthplace of ISKCON. And when people, devotees from all over the world, when they come to New York, they especially want to take that pilgrimage to 22nd Avenue, to have an experience of what it was like when Srila Prabhupada came here in 1966 and established our movement, to worship that place, to be transformed in that atmosphere, and for us to recreate that atmosphere and secure that atmosphere is a very holy, sacred service to our whole society for now and for generations to come. So it's something we need to focus on and make specific plans. Yes.
No one can, you see us, ain't no one looks like devotees.
Haribo. Thank you. Krishna speaks in so many languages. But it is our hope that, and I believe it will happen, that the best leaders throughout our whole movement will really feel welcome here in New York to do wonderful things. There are so many devotees, leading devotees within our movement who have accomplished so much in so many places in the world. And I think everyone would love to help in New York. If we just open our doors to really welcome them and empower them. The wealth is there. It's just having our door open with real hospitality and real enthusiasm and gratitude to give people a chance to do something here in New York City. I'm just thinking of so many of my God brothers and God sisters who have so much to offer, who've done so much, who have so many powers and facilities, and how they would love to help do something in New York. New York City could